I've never seen it in this mauvey purple colour before. I'm Hello everybody, hope you're well. It's Corgi Junior's Land Rover recovery truck here today to do yet another vintage toy haul that I got from my friend's shop in Warwick again. And yeah, so let's get started. But actually, before I get started, I must just point out that if you notice that my voice is slightly nasally, well spotted, I've got a cold, but don't worry, I tested the same day that the symptoms came on. It's not COVID, I came up negative. So, yeah, we can all rest in peace. But, well, not rest in peace, but rest easy. Anyway, let's get started. As I've done with past vintage toy reviews, I'm going to go through these in alphabetical order in terms of toy maker. So the first one on the list, C, Corgi Toys. We have this Ghia 6.4 litre with Chrysler V8 engine. I love this model. I've owned a few of these over the years, but this is the only one that, apart from a few paint chips and a bit of the chrome wearing off on the front and rear bumpers, doesn't have any defects. Because the ones that I've had in the past, they've either had really bad suspension, it's all right on this, and other ones that I've had have had cracked windscreens, and this one doesn't, which is really, really nice. But I just love this model. It evokes 1960s, really, for me. It looks like a lot of the cars that you'd see in the background in Jerry Anderson films. As with a lot of later 1960s Corgi toys, the bonnet opens and we can see the Chrysler V8 engine. The doors open and also the seats move back and forward. Also, the rear boot opens and closes. There was also a stage in the 1960s where Corgi Toys had begun to get a bit more detail inside the cars on the interiors. Hence, we have a little Corgi, I believe, a Corgi dog, perched in the rear windowsill. Now we move on to Dinky Toys, the first of which is this Dinky Toys Packard convertible. I've never actually seen this model before, and I thought at first glance that it was some sort of Hudson Hornet or a Buick, because it does look very similar, but no, sure enough, it is a Packard. And one thing I love about this one, it still has the original driver and the Perspex windscreen, which doesn't appear to have any chips. All the moulding is still there. It's still that Perspex actually still feels like it's brand new. Now that I've said that, that might be a reproduction one, but nevertheless, I'm just feeling the wheels. They all still feel smooth and round, because usually with Dinky Toys this age, you do get the odd wheel that has gone flat over the years because it's been sat on a shelf or in a box in one position and the tyre just goes flat. Few paint chips here and there, but yeah, and I don't think that was too expensive, really. So yeah, I'm very pleased to get that. Next Dinky toy that I bought was this Brinks armoured car. Now, I've seen pictures of this, but I've never actually seen it in real life. And this one is, I know it's sort of like a mid to late 60s model, but it's in amazing condition. As you can imagine, being an armoured car, it is very heavy, a lot heavier than the average Dinky toy. But yeah, this is an awesome looking model, and the amount of detail that has gone into this is amazing. It's still got all the stickers, which are still all in really, really good nick. Each door opens and closes. Also, the rear doors on the armoured car open, and inside are two crates. But yeah, for this model to be in that good condition and still have both the original parcels that go inside is amazing. Next up in Dinky Toys, we have this Triumph 2000. This is a really nice model, quite an unusual one because you don't usually see a lot of Triumph 2000 models, really. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen one in real life. It's really nice. It's got a few paint chips here and there, but I think it's sort of like a creamy white body with a light sky blue roof. The rear boot opens, as does the front bonnet. There is more to this car than meets the eye, my friends, because under there, at the back, we have a little hole, which is for a tow hook, because this car comes with this trailer. Now, this car and trailer were part of a tow-away glider set that I believe, well, I've been told by the guy who I bought these off, was only exclusive to Marks and Spencer's in the UK back in the 60s. I'm extremely lucky to have this because it has all the stickers. Yes, the stickers are slightly peeling off, but put a bit of Pritt stick on and it'll be absolutely fine. And biggest of all, it has the glider. And now I'm going to have to be very careful with this, but you take the lid off. The rear tailgate on the trailer also folds down, and then you assemble the glider. So jump cut, and here we are. This is the glider assembled, and apparently it actually flies. I mean, it's got a bit of weight to it in the nose, so I can believe it would fly, but I'm not going to try it because it's that old and I might break it, because these things are plastic and made out of quite brittle plastic. As you can imagine, these would have gotten played with and broken over the years, and that's what makes this set so valuable. So yeah, I'm super pleased to have this set complete. Next we move on to H for Hot Wheels, and here we have a 1977 Fire Chief car. Yes, it is missing the decals from the sides. Yes, it is a little bit paint chipped here and there, but otherwise the axles aren't bent. The paint is relatively okay, apart from, like I say, a few paint chips. But the windscreens aren't cracked. I really like it. Next, after Hot Wheels, we have Lone Star, and here we have a Lone Star Tough Tots Bedford fire engine. I think it's Bedford. It's either Bedford or Leyland. They're pretty much hollow on the inside, but they are all die-cast metal apart from the plastic wheels. But this is a really, really nice little find, mainly because, I mean, these aren't particularly valuable, but this one is unusual because it's still got all the original stickers on the sides, and they are all in really good condition. So yeah, I've spoken a little bit about Lone Star before on this channel. They're not particularly rare, but they're just difficult to find. I know that sounds ridiculous because rare does mean difficult to find, but in a different way, I don't know. But anyway, I'm glad I found it. Next, after L, we have M for Maisto, and here we have a Maisto Volkswagen camper van. Pretty standard. It's a really solid toy, even though most of the inside and underside is plastic, but the die-cast is really, really rigid. That's not going to collapse it at all, even though this is definitely one of Maisto's cheaper lines that they used to do. It's got a little tow bar on the back. There's a sticker which is sort of going on the top. It's still got the little decals on the sides, but yeah, not a particularly old or valuable model, but I do like it. I have another model from that same line from Maisto, and it is an American fire tender water pumper. I believe this is actually based off one of Matchbox's original castings from the 1960s, because I've got a model in the same scale of this very same fire engine. Obviously with the Matchbox one there's a little bit more metal on it, but yeah, again, not particularly old or valuable, but I've never seen this one before and I do like it. Last Maisto model that I bought today was this Maisto Shell Porsche 911 convertible. Yes, I mean, this isn't, again, this is a little bit older than the previous two Maisto cars that I've shown you, but again, it's not valuable because these are very common. This was actually a range that Maisto did back in the, I think it was late 80s, early 90s, when at Shell petrol stations they would give away a model from this range. And I have the original box here. So yeah, here's the original box, and it says on top, Shell classic sports car collection. Like I say, again, not particularly rare or valuable, but I just really like these models. They're really nice. The doors open on them. They are friction powered. Yeah. Staying with the letter M, next we have Matchbox, and we start off with this Matchbox Models of Yesteryear tram. This is a Jubilee tram. I'm not sure what era this would have been from, but in terms of the model itself, this is the earlier model, because I know they did actually do a later model which was made in China, I believe, but this is the one that was made in England, which has the die-cast base and roof. It also has the News of the World printed on both sides. Unfortunately, the sticker on the rear of the tram has slightly worn off, but the little decals on the base of the tram are also still there. But yes, that's a really nice little model. Next in Matchbox, we have this Atlas dump truck from the Matchbox Superfast range from the 70s. Now, I bought this one, but even though I already have one of these, I bought this one because this is in slightly unusual colours, because the only colours that I've ever seen this model in before were with a blue body and an orange tipper at the back, and it had orange glass in the windscreen, whereas this one is red, silver and has clear glass. So I'm not sure whether this is a rarer model or not, but otherwise it is in really good condition for its age. It's about 40, nearly 50 years old. And of course, being a dumper truck, the back does still tip up very nicely as well. Next Matchbox model that I bought was this Moco Lesney pipe truck. Yes, it's a little bit battered here and there, but it's a lot better than the one that I used to have. The base and the main body are all die-cast metal. The wheels are black plastic, and there is blue perspex in the cab windscreens. Yeah, not a particularly interesting model, but I didn't have it and now I do, so there you go. Last Matchbox model that I bought today, and I should say the penultimate item in this haul for today, was this Matchbox Superfast Lamborghini Marzl. Now, I already have several versions of this. I've got two orange ones, one with the thin Superfast wheels and one with the original thick Superfast wheels. I've got a sort of a burgundy burnt red one, and then I found this one. Not sure if this is a rare colour, because this is the only one I've ever seen in this shade. But yeah, apart from that, few scuffs here and there, but like I say, with some of the other Matchbox models that I've shown, this is nearly 50 years old. The very last model for this haul today is this Techno Ford Taunus. Now, Techno, I believe, were a Danish company. This model, I thought at first sight, I thought it was made by Corgi. But no, it turns out it's made by Techno. I couldn't read that when I first picked this out. I thought it said Schuko, who have a very similar logo. But this model is immaculate. There's hardly any scuffs. All the lights are still there because this has little diamond gem lights. There's no cracks or pitting in the windscreen. The suspension's still really good. It still runs really nicely. This is an awesome model. So yeah, good way to round up the haul. So here is everything from today's haul. I know these aren't really some of my most popular videos, but I enjoy making them and I enjoy sharing my love of collecting vintage model cars, because it's my biggest passion, even bigger than MLP. But yeah, if you like this video, don't forget, give it a like, leave a little comment if you want, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers, guys. Not a particularly interesting model, but I didn't have it and now I do, so there you go. Sorry, but I've just got to point something out. What was that noise that I just made then when I said not a particularly interesting? I know I've got a bit of a sore throat and I've got a bit of a cold, but it's just really amused me that. Oh, let's move on. I've never seen it in this mauvey purple colour before. I'm apologies if you heard a snorting noise in the background there, but my dog Yoko wanted to voice her opinions on it, didn't you, Yoke? Yay? Good girl.